This week on Goofing Off,
Kyle tells us all about Mob Psycho 100.
Colin gives us the rundown on Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
All this and more on Goofing Off.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Goofing Off. I'm Kyle Glockner.
And I'm Drew Brown. Wait, why are you here, Kyle? Did we forget to write another host bit?
I don't think so, but I had to come out because Becca malfunctioned.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, when she found out we went to a con without her, she kinda short-circuited and had to be sent in for repairs. We should be getting a temporary replacement android just in time for the next bit.
Wait, what? Becca's an android? Does that mean I'm an android?
It's best if you don't think about it too hard, Chief. Anyway, check out our trip to Techo. Up next. Hey Goofs, it's me, Kyle, and I am here at the David L. Lawrence Convention Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Techo. The last time Goof was at Techo was back in 2017 when Brendan came, but I haven't been, so I'm gonna see what's going on and what kind of trouble I can get into. Let's check it out. Okay, so now I am here with, and what is your name?
Haley,
And who are you cosplaying as today?
Junko Enoshima,
From
Danganronpa,
Danganronpa, a good franchise. Big fan?
huge.
Good. Always a good murder mystery. So, is this your first time coming to Techo?
No, this is actually my second year running security, fourth year in a row.
Okay, how do you enjoy it overall compared to maybe, say, some other cons in the area?
I like it how it's very diverse. You get to see people that you never really seen before. There's a whole mixture of video game fans, anime fans, furries, everything.
Okay, so now I am here with, and what are your names?
Allie?
June.
And they are with the Jelly Momo shop. Now, can you tell me a bit about what kind of goes on here?
So we basically just sell like anime themed apparel, sometimes accessories, but our main aesthetic is something like along the lines of like cutesy meets like edgy.
Cutesy meets anime streetwear.
Right. As you can tell, I love the Danganronpa shirts and the Love Live shirts you sell. They are all amazing. I haven't been able to find anything really quite like it at any con I've been to, and we've been to quite a lot of cons. I know I see you guys at KatsuCon and Colossal Con occasionally. What inspires you to make the design for a shirt? Like, what kind of sparks you to be like, oh, I want to put that on a t-shirt?
I would say, like, it all comes from, like, our roots. Like, all the things that we liked growing up, like music, video games, anime. Like, we all really loved all of those. So we wanted to, like, incorporate those into our love of fashion. Like, as you said, we don't really see those, like, you know, like, apparel with, like, actual, like, you know, not that, like, there isn't thought put into it, but it's like they just mostly like slap an anime character on a t-shirt and just sell it out like that.
Plus, like, we grew up not having like a lot of like anime merch. Like,
Right.
well, back in the day there wasn't too much anime merch. So like before, like even if like we wanted something of an anime, we just like draw it ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what I've like applied. Like, well, I want a shirt like that, but there's no shirt like that, so I may as well just make it myself.
Right, that's always good. Like I said, with the Danganronpa shirts, like I've always wanted something Chiaki, and then I saw it at, I think it was Colossal Con, and I was like, well, I know I need to buy that immediately, so. Is there any show or like concept or design that you want to make in the future, or just like haven't made yet, or you're like, hey, maybe I kind of want to toss that idea around, like anything like that?
I think our main theme right now is like video games. So touching on like different types of video games. We've done like RPG. We want to do like more like phone game based things.
Or like
and-
strategy games.
Yeah, strategy games. Yeah. So those are the basic things that we like to like mess with a lot.
Well, a lot of digital themed stuff like websites and like, I don't know, like basically like, like yeah.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the con.
Thank you so much.
All right, and now I am here with, and what is your name?
Jake.
All right, Jake, and have you been to Techo before, or is this your first time out?
This is my third time here at Techo.
Really? How do you like it compared to maybe any other conventions?
I like it. It's a bit smaller in size, so it's definitely a good convention for first-timers and newcomers that are not as veterans to the. And then for veterans, it's still a pretty good scene. It's usually at the warmer time of the year, so better for some costumes and whatnot. So it's still a good con all around.
So is there anything that you're looking forward to doing here? Any particular events, anything going on, any guests you want to see?
Usually the major pull here with Techo is the bands and the international bands that they pull in, so I'm very excited for Myth and Royd.
Oh, you're going to that tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'll be there tomorrow in the front, hopefully, trying to check them out. So.
Unfortunately, I can't stay Saturday night, so I won't get to see them, but just give them a good watch for me, too.
All right, that sounds good.
Other than that, was there anything in maybe like the dealer's room that you were looking to pick up today?
Well, I just picked up some plushies for my wife of some of her favorite characters. That's usually I have an arcade cabinet that I get stickers for, so I get stickers of my favorite stuff, and sometimes we'll get art prints to frame and put up.
Gotcha. Those are always good to get here. There's some good stuff out there. All right, well, thank you for talking with us, and have a good rest of your con.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Well, Goofs, that's all the time we have at Techo for the weekend. We saw a lot of great things, met some great people, and had a lot of fun. If you want to see the next con that Goof is going to go to, check out Colossal Con in Sandusky, Ohio. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner. Thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
So, Becca, what's Kyle talking about in manga today?
Andrew Brown, I do not know what this animanga is that you speak of. This word is not in any language known to man.
That's right, he's talking about Mob Psycho 100. Up next.
Hello anime and manga fans, I'm Kyle Glockner and welcome back to another episode of Animanga. It's that time of year once again. The winter season sends its farewells and the spring season rolls on in with all of its amazing shows. But there were plenty of amazing shows from the winter season that I just didn't have time to cover. A couple of my favorites were The Promised Neverland, The Quintessential Quintuplets, Domestic Girlfriend, and The Rising of the Shield Hero. But there was one sequel this season that sat rightfully at the top of my favorite anime from that season. So today, I'll be talking about Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 focuses on Shigeo Kageyama, who is given the nickname Mob due to his lack of presence to those around him. He's a less than average middle school student in all aspects except that he has incredible psychic powers that he uses to help out his master, Reigen Arataka, who claims to be a powerful Esper. Now initially, you may draw a lot of parallels between this show and One Punch Man, which makes sense once you realize they were written by the same author. You've got our main character who has incredible power that isn't given a solid cap, getting into a ton of wacky situations due to either bad luck or being in the wrong place at the wrong time, as well as a sort of naive innocence that makes you fall in love with them from episode 1, more so in Mob's case than Saitama's. But as you can probably tell from a simple glance, Mob is nothing like Saitama in the long run. One of the most obvious things to talk about with Mob Psycho 100 is the animation. During most of the expository and conversational scenes, the show's art style can be very minimalist, which isn't a bad thing at all. In fact, it's very reminiscent of the original art style from the webcomic and manga, and I can really appreciate them sticking to this stylistic choice throughout a majority of the adaptation. However, during a fight scene or some of the more intense moments of the series, the animation skyrockets. I mean, it goes through the roof, into the clouds, and goes on into the dark depths of space, only to be seen again once the scene is concluded. If we're talking animation alone, Mob Psycho 100 has to be one of the best series I've ever seen. The use of color, lighting, shading, movement are all cranked up to the max during the fight scenes and is the sole reason I haven't read the rest of the series yet. I've read a couple chapters of the manga and it's just not the same. I can't stress enough how gorgeous this show can be sometimes, as I'm sure you've seen through the clips I've thrown up while talking about it. If I had to pick my favorite scene animation-wise, it would have to be the battle against Shimazaki in episode 11 of season 2. The way that they choreographed all the allied espers attacking him at once while he was teleporting around, the first-person shot while Sakurai was aiming his gun, on top of the fantastic movement of the shots made this probably one of my favorite fights of the entire series so far. But while the animation is gorgeous and I could go on and on and on about some of the fight scenes, I would be doing this series a severe disservice. So now, I'm going to talk about the absolute best part of this series, which is its characters. Now, characters are important in any series. It doesn't matter how pretty everything looks or how good the soundtrack is if the characters aren't able to carry their own weight. After finishing the second season of the show, I think it's safe for me to say that Mob Psycho 100 has some of the best characters I've ever seen in an anime, period. I'll start with one of the characters I mentioned earlier, Reigen Arataka. Reigen is pretty much a comic relief character in a show where 75% of the scenes end in a punchline. We see in the first few episodes that Reigen is a fraud and he's using Mob to help keep his business afloat. But despite his initial impressions as a sleazy con man, Reigen has some incredible character moments throughout season 1 and 2, including two of my favorite episodes of the entire series in the latter season. Despite his surface level reasons for hiring Mob as a part-timer, Reigen connects with Mob and helps him learn to control his emotions throughout the series, and sort of acts as an older brother figure to Mob. Even if you don't like Reigen's jokey character during the first season, I'm sure that you'll come around by the middle of the second season. But it's time we talked about the star of our show, Mob himself. The main difference between Mob and Saitama as characters is that while Saitama's character is fully developed from the start of One Punch Man, Mob starts from square one. Like I mentioned before, his nickname Mob comes from his lack of presence to those around him. He starts out as not much more than a simple background character. One of the key points to Mob's character are his emotions. During season 1, more so than season 2, Mob doesn't really know how to express his emotions. He reacts to most things with the same stone-cold face while occasionally getting worried or happy. But throughout each interaction Mob has, his emotions build up more and more inside of him. Each interaction inches them closer and closer to their bursting point, and once they reach 100%, well, depending on which emotion Mob is primarily feeling at that time, there can be some very interesting effects regarding his powers. While a lot of the first season is spent establishing the world this series takes place in, as well as the general system of Esper powers, a lot of the focus is on Mob and how his interactions with those around him help him gain a better understanding on his own emotions and his powers and how he can control them. Now, season 1 of Mob Psycho 100 is pretty great. I give it a solid 7 to 8 out of 10. But season 2, oh boy. Let's just talk about season 2 for a bit, and don't worry, this all ties back into my point about Mob. The second season of a show is very crucial. It can either make, break, maintain, or even rebuild hype for a show. I can certainly think of some shows whose second seasons did better than others, but I don't have time to go into those now. Season 2 of Mob Psycho 100 didn't just match the hype levels of the first season, it didn't just barely creep over them. Season 2 blew Season 1 out of the water. Every single episode of Season 2 was amazing. There wasn't a single episode that left me even feeling a little unsatisfied. The reason for this had a lot to do with the general step up in quality, like I mentioned earlier with the animation. But the biggest step in quality comes back to my previous point with Mob's character development. At the end of Season 1, Mob was, well, Mob. He started to come into his own towards the end of the season, but it was clear he still had a lot of room to grow. Season 2 allowed Mob to fill and exceed that room to grow. From the beginning, Mob is more emotionally responsive. He's doing things for himself because he wants to. He's expressing his opinions more with Dimple and Reagan, and he's generally becoming more confident in himself and his powers. I'm not exaggerating when I say that as of Season 2, Mob has one of the best character arcs I've seen in anime. His growth is one of the most appealing aspects of the show, and it does not disappoint. Especially when you consider that at the end of Season 2, Mob still has a long way to go as a character, which is in itself satisfying just knowing it can go on from here. If I'm being honest, my favorite episodes of Mob Psycho 100 aren't the flashy, beautifully animated fight scenes. My favorite episodes of this series are the ones that solely focus on developing Mob's, Reagan's, and everyone else's character. To name one in particular, I think episode 8 of Season 2 is the best of the whole series. Seeing Mob push himself to his physical limits to reach his goal of making the top 10 in the marathon, as well as seeing everyone else come together and try to help him in any way they could, was amazing. I've rewatched that episode alone several times, and I love it more and more each time. And like I said, that's just my personal favorite episode. That's not to say that the other episodes of Season 2 or even Season 1 aren't good. Quite the opposite, actually. This is one of the best series you can watch as an anime fan, and trust me, I've watched a lot of anime. Overall, Mob Psycho 100 is an amazing show that you have to watch at some point during your life as an anime fan. Between its stunning visuals, beautiful character development, and overall stellar quality, I can't recommend it enough. It sits comfortably in my top 10, maybe even in my top 5. Mob Psycho 100 was directed by Yuzuru Tachikawa, written by Hiroshi Seko, and animated by Bones Inc., while the manga was written and illustrated by One. Do yourself a favor and give this series a watch. I can't do it enough justice here. But that's all the time I have for today, so let me know what you think by tweeting me at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag Animanga. Until then, I'm Kyle Glockner, and this has been Animanga.
So, Android Becca, we need to teach you how to be the real Becca. Quick, what's something Becca would say?
I would assume Becca would say, "Hello, my name is Becca."
Good. While we teach Android Becca to become the new Becca, enjoy this nice break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Man, Drew, I really wish there was someone who could talk about the esports score, future events, the Rocket League team winning the National E-League in a segment-like format for my viewing pleasure.
Becca, actually, today I heard on Esports... Good news for you, Chief. Cameron's here to do just that on Esports Unzipped, up next.
Hello everyone and welcome to Esports Unzipped, your hub for all things esports. My name's Karen Blunt and today I'll be going over how our esports teams have been doing, some major highlights for our esports teams, future events, and meta changes in the Hearthstone format that will be changing a lot of the game. So to start, on March 24th, our Overwatch team lost to Waterloo University 3-0. On April 1st, our Blue Hearthstone team beat the University of Wisconsin 3-0. Then, on April 2nd, our Blue Hearthstone team lost to the University of Colorado, and finally, our Gold Rocket League team beat Illinois University at the Northern Conference Championship 4-2. And then they went to the Final Four and beat the University of Redlands 4-0, and finally went to take the entire thing by beating the University of Central Florida 4-2. You all worked so hard to get where you are today and deserve some rest. You guys do an amazing job and always give me great highlights to work with. Not just them, but every team here at the University of Akron. And speaking of highlights, let's get to them, shall we?
It's overtime in the second round and no one has scored yet, meaning that whoever makes the first goal wins the round. Salt bounces off the wall and Buzz is able to line up the shot and make the goal. Sight from the University of Central Florida tried to get some ground on Akron, but Reticence knocks it right back, hitting it right for the goal. Salt comes flying in and threads the needle, getting the goal. If Akron wins this round, they win the entire collegiate championship. Buzz knocks it away from the goal to hopefully set up for another. Akron doesn't have to score here, they just have to make sure Central Florida doesn't. Demon knocks it back to hopefully send this game into overtime, but Salt and Reticence are there to block, and Buzz comes flying in to get it away from their goal. Salt knocks it closer to the goal with Buzz bouncing it off the wall to set up for a shot, but Reticence hits it a tad too early. Bits goes for the wall, but Reticence knocks him away. Buzz tries to get the ball, but Demon is able to knock it back towards the goal, with Bits hitting it even further. The minute mark hits and Salt and Reticence are trying to keep the ball out of their goal. The ball goes high and Bits and Reticence both go for it, with Reticence hitting it just a fraction of a second earlier. Demon not having enough air to get the ball, it gets closer to their goal and Buzz comes charging in, making the final goal that seals the game and the collegiate championship.
As always, our teams do an incredible job and make my job of finding these highlights incredibly easy. For a future event, our Fighting Game Club will be facing off against Kent on April 13th. Our esports games have been slowing down as the year comes to an end, but when our Hearthstone teams play, their games won't be like anything that we've seen before. The Year of the Dragon has come, meaning that rotation has happened. This means that in standard and professional events, players can now no longer use the cards that were sent to the Hall of Fame, like Gen and Baku, as well as being unable to use cards from Journey to Ungoro, Knights of the Frozen Throne, and Kobolds and Catacombs, like the Quest cards, Death Knights and Lich King, or any of the legendary weapons. Without these cards, decks are completely changed from their previous incarnations. For example, the combo priest that worked off of Mind Blast and Shadow Reaver Anduin no longer worked since he rotated out. But now, there's a new combo with Archmage Vargoth, where you want to use his unique ability to spam Mind Blast to destroy your opponent. Decks like Midrange Hunter might still see play though, although without cards that let your beasts adapt, the deck has become significantly weaker. Before, the deck would want to play Dire Mole as your turn 1 play. Now it's become Shimmerfly. The deck did get a boost in power though with the card 9 Lives, being able to bring back your Savannah Highmane. And then there are the decks that have no hope of ever seeing play again. Decks like Odd Warrior and Even Warlock. With Gen and Baku going to the Hall of Fame, the Even and Odd decks will no longer be usable in Standard. Therefore, these extremely powerful decks now no longer exist, and the strategy behind them is essentially thrown out the window. But just because old decks are gone, that doesn't mean it's going to be a boring and stale game. Players are already coming up with amazing decks that might change the way Hearthstone is played. Even now, we see an older deck that was weak before become very powerful. This deck is Secret Paladin. Now, with a ton of new support cards that benefit from secrets, the power level of this deck has shot up. Cards like Commander Rissa, Mysterious Blade, Desperate Measures, and Sunreaver Spy. I'm extremely excited to see what decks our collegiate teams come up with and how they fare against the other schools.
Rare. Wow, golden legendary.
But what do you guys think? Did I catch your favorite highlight? Do you like the new decks popping up in Hearthstone? Why don't you let me know by tweeting me at ZTVGoofingOff, and be sure to use the hashtag EsportsUnzipped. And don't forget to tune in to the #1 college-run esports talk show in the country on 88.1 WZIP every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for even more esports talk. As always, I'm Karen Blenton, and I'll see you guys next time.
I'm Batman. No, Becca, you're supposed to practice being Becca, not Batman.
I'm Becca.
Close enough. Here's Matt Reed talking about The Dark Knight, up next on Double Take.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Double Take, where I take a second look at movies and games to see if they're as good or as bad as everyone says they are. A few days ago from the time that I'm recording this, the trailer for the new Joker movie came out, and it looks pretty good, though we really only have one trailer so far. I decided to do my show on something that I've wanted to talk about for a while now, and is relevant to the upcoming flick, The Dark Knight. Now, I'm not here to try to tear apart a movie just because it's popular, but this is considered one of the best superhero movies of all time, and I just don't think that it lives up to the hype. I will say though, spoiler warning for this movie, though it's been over 10 years, so I think I'm good. Let's start with some of the action in this movie. When I say some of the action, I mean only some. For the most part, this action is pretty good. It is solid direction and is entertaining to watch and rewatch. A small portion of it just feels out of place and sloppy compared to the rest. I'm mostly talking about one of the first fight scenes in the movie, the Pardon Garage. When I rewatch The Dark Knight, this is the part I usually lose focus on. The character motivations don't make any sense, some of the physics are off, and even the end of it just doesn't sit well with me. What is that thing? Why doesn't it work? So I guess you're not wearing hockey pants or cutting through doors, right? Next, I'll get into some of the small details about the plot. I know that this is a superhero movie, so that in order to enjoy things like this, you must have some amount of suspension of disbelief. That being said, some of the things that happen in this movie were distracting to say the least. Things like the buses in the end of the opening scene. Now, last but not least, we have the characters. I'll be honest, this is the main theme that I've been beating around the bush about up until now. I have issues mostly with the villains in this one, and before I start, I do want to mention that I won't be digging into the Joker here. I thought a long time about including him, but that deserves its own video for time's sake alone. Some of the other villains in this have poor motivations in my opinion. The big and glaring motivation I think is wrong with the plot is that of Harvey Dent. In the movie, his to-be wife and Batman's love interest dies, and in the same event, he gets a little dinger of a boo-boo on his face. Nothing a little Neosporin can't handle though, buddy. You'll be fine. This causes him to take matters into his own hands and find those responsible and make them pay. This would make sense if all the people he chose were at fault. It's very clearly the Joker's fault, and not Jim Gordon's. But instead, for plot reasons, he chooses not to kill the Joker, and instead put a large amount of focus on killing Jim Gordon's innocent family? This jump is just too much. I also don't agree with the way he does things with his coin. I know he's had it the whole movie, but Harvey was never about fair chance. He was always about following the law and making his own luck. This is clear when he repeatedly uses the double-sided coin to turn the odds in his favor, aka getting a date with Rachel or interrogating his suspect. This isn't related to taking a 50-50 chance. I know there were times that his persona cracked and he took things a bit too far. Yes, he lost his wife-ish, but that doesn't explain why a man of the law and Gotham's White Knight would make such a drastic change. Overall, I don't think that this is a bad movie. It has rewatch value in most any moving situation. The acting is spot on, the writing isn't terrible, the score is chilling and inspiring, as well as some of the cinematography that was really intriguing. It just didn't wow me by any standard. Nowadays, there are many more things that a superhero movie can do to impress. There are movies that take chances, that have twists, that don't follow a regular format and subvert your expectations. We have had over a decade of superhero movies, and those tickets keep selling, butts keep hitting the seats to watch. And that's not because the movies have followed the most linear storylines with drastic shifts in character motivations just to further the plot. Overall, I'd still rate this movie a solid 8 out of 10, but still not my favorite Batman movie. Dark Knight Rises, I love you. Well, that's all I have for you folks today. If you have any thoughts, questions, agree with me or disagree with me, or want to see my second video where I dig into the Joker, feel free to subscribe to us on YouTube or tweet us at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag DoubleTake. My name is Matt Reed, and this has been Double Take.
Okay, Becca, in order to be more like Becca, you need to add some emotions.
How do I do that?
You just kind of express how you're feeling through your voice and expressions.
How would I express happiness?
Fellas, we will be right back after this break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Becca, in my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. Whenever you feel like criticizing anyone, he told me, just remember that all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had.
Drew, what advantages are you talking about? Is this some sort of strange form of humor?
Becca, that advantage is playing Overcooked on the PS4, up next on Drew's Cookin'. And yes. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic cooktacular episode of Drew's Cookin'. Today we are playing the highly requested, mostly by everyone in Goofing Off, is request. That is Overcooked. Ever since I announced that I was doing cooking, I've had this game shoved into my face multiple times and people being like, you should totally do this. So, probably just because it has cooked in the name. But I heard it's really good, so we're gonna give it a shot. I never played it. So we're gonna start the campaign. Alright, it's just me. Just me, all by my lonesome. I got a choice of Muppets to choose from. There's a raccoon. I think I might be going with. Oh, there's a cat with an eye patch. I like these. Oh, there's a cat without an eye patch. Wait, there's a. Oh, he doesn't have an eye patch. He just has like a little thing on his head, like that one. Another Muppet. Okay, that's all I got. So I think I'm gonna go with the raccoon. Or I mean, nah. This guy looks kind of like my cat. I'm gonna go with this cat. I like that. He got the little. I like the cute the little fellas. Look at them. They're real happy. So the controls looks like. All right, in the not so distant future. Oh, all right. Okay. It's looking like Mad Max Cooking Road, or the intro to like Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh, well, this is it. Oh no, the end of times. The beast is approaching, and so we must act. Is this Persona 3? You are all that stands between the Onion Kingdom and total annihilation. Arf. Thank you, dog. Kevin is right. We must work together to feed the beast. Did you feel that? Alright, off to a good start. Oh. What is that? Is that a brain? Is that spaghetti? I think it. Oh no, it's got big goofy teeth. The ever peckish has awoken. We must act quickly. Are those meatballs? Is this Cloudy with a chance of meatballs? Pick up an ingredient. Okay, I got some sort of beet. Take the lettuce to the chopping boards. Where's that at? Over here? Now the lettuce must be chopped. Use your X button. X. Press L1 to switch chefs. Oh, it's like a, okay. I got it. L1. Okay, so I'm doing this. Gonna chop the potatoes. Oh, can I chop the lettuce too? Oh wait, I need... what do I do? I'm just gonna pick up the lettuce. Put it on a plate. Resplendent. Now we need a tomato. Gotta chop the tomato. And I'll mess around. Oh wait, I gotta chop them. Can I help? Oh, I can take over. All right. So we're going. So this is like the end of days, I guess. So and we're just yucking it up on top of this roof, messing around. Excuse me, sir. There we go. A salad. Of course, that's what we're doing. Feed it to the beast. Here you go, buddy. I gotta utilize both of these chefs here. Oops. And then I'll chop more lettuce. I get it. All right, here we go. Now we're really cooking. So then while he's doing that, I'll take this guy and give him his lettuce. Can I give him the lettuce before the salad, or do I have to give him the salad? Let's try it. No, please, pick it. Oh, it's not done yet. Now it's done. I might as well make the salad. Oh, I see it. The top, okay. The top shows how expired these orders are. I don't want to destroy the world. I have to save them from this spaghetti man. I don't understand. I don't know how. I know there's a sequel to this game, but I don't know how that could top this. It's no good. The beast cannot be satisfied. Not in my current state. We have to go back in time. I thought this was just gonna be a, all right, you opened a restaurant kind of game. No, this is save the world from evil meat and pasta monsters kind of game. Greetings, friends. All right, cool. So we're back. My cat twins. It is clear to me that you were not ready to take on the beast. Your cooking skills were lacking and your cooperation was woeful. Just like in real life. Except I'm really good at cooking. That is why I brought you back to the year 1993. Finally! Oh man, I can do so much. I'm gonna go see Pearl Jam in concert. You must strike out the Onion Kingdom. Travel far and wide. Hone your skills. Master the ancient art of cooking. If there's one thing that humans and onion monsters have been doing since the beginning of time, it's cooking. Travel far and wide, hone your skills, master the ancient art of cooking. Only then will you be ready to save this world from this dark future. I forgot I had a voice for him. Be brave, my friends. And good luck. That's probably not what he sounds like, because he looks a lot more deep. But, alright. Time to watch Full House. right in front of the TV so mom will tell me to go away from the TV because it'll hurt my eyes. That's why I wear these glasses. Soup! We need to make basic soup. Alright, gamers, let's go. What do? Gotta pick up the pumpkin, put it in the pot. Or maybe not. What do we do with the pumpkin? What do I do? Oh, chop it up. What do I do now? Needs plate. Oh, I almost just delivered to the public this entire pot of soup. All right, 1 bowl of soup. I like this. Dirty plates need to be washed up in the sink. Look at that little Muppet man. He's so happy about doing the dishes. I've never been happy about doing the dishes in my life. Yeah, this game's probably played a lot better with pals, but since I'm a friendless vigilante, I don't really have that a luxury. So playing it all by my lonesome. I forgot to hit the chop button. What is going on? Why is that? What's going on? No! Get off the... Okay, I just took off those onions almost just died. I guess I shouldn't put all the onions in before I put them on the oven. I have a lot of orders for soup. Okay, let's chop some more onions. Soup order up. Okay, we're not getting this one done, boys. Oof. Okay. Whew. That was not good. Oh wait, never mind. It was good. 3 stars. Cool. I learned how to make soup. It's like the overworld for Sonic Lost World. You know, that's kind of a pull, but if anyone played Sonic Lost World, all 3 of you. Oh, we're cooking on a pirate ship. Okay. But we've been taken captive by the pirates. Oh, I gotta pass it on to this guy. Okay, this makes things a little bit easier. What? Ah! Ah! What's going on? Why? Why did it do that? Get out of the way. This is bad. I don't like this one bit. So, okay, so the whole environment just moves. That's cool. I like that, but at the same time, it's rough because I gotta adapt every so often. I'll have him chop. Oh, we can both chop, so double the chop. Okay, I didn't know that. Good to know, good to know. No! No! Stop! No! The soup! The soup! Soup, 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 soup. Yes! Okay, cool. We're good, we're good, we're good. No big deal, no big deal. Can I put the soup on from the opposite end? Okay. I like this. This is cool. This is cool. Kind of. There's probably a trick to this, like an optimal way of playing it. I'm just an idiot and I don't know how to do it. So, we're gonna keep playing it the Drew Brown way. And that is playing like an idiot. Come on. I like this cool pirate music it's playing. No! I wanted to make the mushroom soup. I chopped all those mushrooms up for nothing. Only 2 stars on that one. That's a rough one. Oh well. The world is my oyster. I can go anywhere, but nowhere at the same time. 3 stars is 90 points. So I gotta make 3 orders in order to make 3 stars, which is gonna be next to impossible because I'm bad at video games. Not cooking, video games. I'm very good at cooking, trust me. Where the bun? Oh well, let's just get to chopping. Where? Oh, the buns are in the corner for whatever reason. That's cool. Why is the earth shaking? Oh! What? I need to get to the other half of my kitchen. What is happening? What? Come down. Thank you. That's right. I don't have time to deal with this. Please. This is insane. Okay, I need the burger on this side. The order's on the opposite side of the thing. Oh, it needs tomatoes. Oh man. Okay, gotta chop tomatoes. I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. Oh no. No! Stop! No! No! The order's done, please! I can't make 9 orders in this amount of time. I made like 2 meals. We're barely scraping the bottom, boys, but we're getting there. We're getting through the world. We're opening up space-time. Time to go to Home Island. What's over here? What more could this game possibly give to me? Oh, Onion Man. Hello. Greetings, my... Wait, what was the voice I did for that? I'll do a different one. Greetings, my small friends. The year is now 1992. It's been 2 years? 1995, the Super Nintendo's on its way. It's midway through its life cycle, I think. Nah, it's early. The time really flew by, didn't it? You are progressing well on your quest, but you will need to work on your skills of cooperation if you are to face the challenges ahead. Travel eastward, where more kitchens await. Onward, my friends. What's the dog have to say? Can I burn myself? What is this? This guy's got a big polar bear rug. I hope that's artificial. That looks awesome. We're playing this level. We'll play as this weirdo. Dude, we're driving cars. We're cooking in other cars. How am I supposed to jump over there? I need burger. Burger time. Okay. And he needs lettuce. Chop the lettuce. This is awesome. We're cooking burger. This guy, oh no, the guy on the other side can't really do much for now. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I just need 2 burger patty. Oh, he just died. Oh, okay. No! Oh no, now we're both on this side. That's bad. That's very bad. That's not what I intended to do. Oh no. Oh well, at least I can get an order done. I think. Oh no. Okay. Get him back on this side. Put this on here, get this over here. Start chopping lettuce. Okay. No. Man, okay. He needs tomatoes. His lettuce. Here you go, sir. Take your lettuce. And we'll get a bun and put it on there. And then bada bing, bada boom, we're done. I can probably make one more burgie. Nope, I have 17 seconds. Probably not make one more burgie. If this thing cooks in time, I can get it over there and we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. Please, 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 please. Please. Yes. And... yeah! It didn't work. Why not? Oh, well, 2 stars is 2 stars. That's all. That's fine with me. Well, folks, we cooked. We served. It was delicious, but this isn't the game. We are playing Overcooked, the first one. And wow, it surprised me. It was very good. It's very short, very simple, very hard, because there's a lot of timing and a lot of rats and a lot of other complications like the earth moving under you and spaghetti monsters descending upon the earth. It was definitely an intense bout. Man. Well, until next time, if you have any cooking games you want me to play here on Drew's Cooking, tweet me at ZTV Goofing Off with that hashtag Drew's Cooking. Until next time, I'm Drew, driving my cute yellow bus across this world map, looking for more things to cook all the time. See you next time.
Okay, Drew, how would I express being annoyed?
Okay, so first, stop smiling, look at me without turning your head, and then slightly shake your head. Yeah, that's how Becca Norman looks at me. You got it.
We'll be right back after this break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
I'm glad Colin got to review that From Software game about his daily life.
You mean Metal Wolf Chaos, the one about the US president and vice president battling it out in mechs for the fate of America?
No, but that's pretty close. He's talking about his life in ancient Japan in his review of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice on Magic Strawberry.
Hey fellas, this is Colin here watching Magic Strawberry. In the past decade, From Software has forged an identity on crafting notoriously difficult games by making the difficulty itself the core experience. The point in any of these games is to achieve that elated feeling after defeating a boss they have labored at for an extended period of time, and then you ride that high up until you beat the game. And in From Software's latest release, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, this is no different. Sekiro was set in feudal Japan during the Sengoku period during a time of social upheaval and non-stop warfare. We play as a shinobi who tries to protect his lord Kuro, the divine heir of the Ashina clan, during a bloody coup d'etat from an opposing clan. Unfortunately, a samurai named Genichiro captures Kuro in the hopes of using his dragon heritage to create his own immortal army. Wolf confronts him, but it doesn't take long before he gains the upper hand and cuts one of your hands off. Wolf survives these wounds, however, and awakens in an abandoned Buddhist temple where he meets a sculptor who fashioned a Swiss tool prosthetic hand for him to use. Now, Wolf sets out to rescue Kuro while also seeking vengeance against the samurai. Sekiro is different from past From Software games, in which the focus is now about attacking an enemy's posture and balance in the effort to strike a killing blow, rather than whittling down the health bar. This means that the combat mainly consists of timed deflections and dodging until the time is right to strike, which I thought gave the combat a realistic feel. The combat mechanics can be a little difficult to master, but luckily, you're able to practice them as much as you please by sparring with this guy who quite literally can't die. Whenever you learn a new move, you can easily fast travel back to the base temple and practice it to your heart's content. Given that the combat is defense heavy, it teaches you very quickly that you're not going to be able to wander in the middle of a horde of enemies and just mow everyone down. This is why stealth is especially important when confronting any territories. Also, you can eavesdrop on nearby enemies to gain insight on how to beat bosses. Sekiro is also a little more forgiving than past From Software games, and a lot of it is due to the mobility mechanics, mainly the grappling hook fashioned into your prosthetic arm. The level design is excellent for this use of verticality, as swinging from various branches and rooftops is simply a blast. You can obviously use it for stealth purposes, but if at any point, if you feel flustered in a battle, you can easily grapple to the nearest rooftop and hide out until they stop looking for you. There is almost always a way out if you ever feel overwhelmed, and you're always given 2 chances whenever you die in battle, as the name of the game suggests. You're given the option to resurrect immediately after death. It's only after the second death where it's game over. Plus, there's these sculpture idols laid out all across the map where once you discover them, you're then granted the ability to fast travel to the point in the map. Still, considering the developer, Sekiro is still rather difficult. You better make good use of all the training, because even the slightest misstep will result in you losing a drastic amount of your health. The margin for error is practically none, and every enemy you come across is quick, so you have to be constantly on your guard. Plus, if you do choose to resurrect immediately after dying, you'll lose half of your currency and experience upon every death. You can prevent yourself from losing currency and experience with the use of unseen aid. Whether or not these will help you is based on chance, and they're fickle, so it's best not to depend on them. Deciding whether or not you want to use the resurrection each time is a gamble, because if you do die a second time, not only do you lose your money, but some of the NPCs will become affected by a disease called dragon rot, and chances of triggering unseen aid later in the game will go down. With all of that said, I feel Sekiro is worth picking up for anyone who might feel hesitant due to the developer's reputation. While it still proves a challenge, the combat is finally polished, and swinging around a beautifully imagined feudal Japan world never fails to delight. The narrative experience lacks due to a lot of the lore simply being implied, which is a From Software custom. While it does create an air of mystery, there's no real narrative thrust. What does keep you coming back is the high you get from defeating bosses, and just the combat in general that intelligently weaves stealth and melee mechanics. I give Sekiro Shadows Die Twice a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching Magic Strawberry. Feel free to hit that like button down below, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Twitter at ZTV Goofing Off. See ya!
Okay, Becca, I think you have Becca pretty much figured out. How do you feel?
Kind of depressed and anxious at the same time. Is that normal? Am I doing this whole Becca thing right?
Yeah, you're doing it right, don't worry. While Becca has her first existential crisis, we'll take a quick break.
If you like what you see here on Goofing Off, be sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter.
You're watching ZTV.
Looks like Clayton is talking about Thanos today.
You mean the big purple dude from Infinity War?
Yeah, I guess, but it goes a little further than that. I'll just let Clayton explain it up next on Comic Therapy.
Comic Therapy. Hello viewers, my name's Clayton Schrock, and today is an episode of Villainy. With the release date of Avengers Endgame looming, I thought I'd take a look at the biggest baddie we've seen go up against the Marvel friend so far, Thanos. If you're watching this video after the movie has already come out, please don't spoil it for me. I still have hope for that Ant-Man theory. Anyways, Thanos. Why is he purple, pinkish, and raisiny all over? Where is he from? Why would he be the worst person to cast for a West Side Story film? We got a lot to cover, so let's just jump into it. Thanos was first created by Jim Starlin in 1973 for the Invincible Iron Man issue number 55. Thanos would continue to be a mainstay villain, fighting both individual heroes like Cap and Iron Man, and also larger teams like Guardians of the Galaxy and Fantastic Four. Always being defeated eventually, but always finding his way back somehow. If you watch the Avengers Infinity War movie, then we all got to see a bit of Thanos' backstory. He was born on Saturn's moon, Titan, and carried something called Deviant's gene. This gave him a frightening appearance compared to his family, and was almost killed by his mother at birth. She was stopped, of course, and Thanos grew up to be a very peaceful, harmless being. This pacifism would evolve eventually, giving us the death-loving monster we all know. And by death-loving, I mean death-loving, and not an angsty teen with a dark sense of humor kind of way. Thanos would fall in love with the physical embodiment of death, Mistress Death. This crush would turn toxically abusive, and Thanos decided that he would do anything to get her attention. Thanos would kill anyone, no matter how close they were to him, just to be visited by death again. This obsession with death would lead to a mirrored storyline in the movies that we see in the comics, except without the love for a physical being of death. Thanos decided to gather all of the Infinity Gems to make the Infinity Gauntlet to rid of half of all of the life in the universe. Surely this would make Death fall in love with him once and for all. Talk about obsessed. I mean, yeah, I've written a couple cheesy notes for a crush before, but collecting all of the Infinity Stones to make yourself godlike and killing half of all the life in the entire universe, it definitely sounds a little obsessed to me, but who am I to say? Thanos, of course, is no mumbo-jumbo of an alien, by the way. He's incredibly strong and smart, being one of the most tactful challengers of the Marvel character roster. But the thing that makes him a true threat is the Infinity Gauntlet. Made up of the Soul Gems, Infinity Stones, Thanos has control over time, reality, space, souls, mind, and power. And we all know what he can do with all of those. 50% chance of living doesn't really sound like great odds. How many businesses would have to close down? Would you survive? Would Guy Fieri survive? You know, all of this brings up an interesting experiment. Let's look at some celebrities and well-known people and see if they'd survive the dreaded snap, or in this case, a coin flip. Heads you're dead, tails you live. May the odds be ever in your favor. Wait, that's the wrong franchise.
You should have gone for the head.
Alright, it's the day of judgment, the snapping. Let's see who survives and who dies. That kind of rhymes. Yeah, that rhymes. Okay, there we go. Guy Fieri up first. Let's see, we're flipping the coin. What we got? Tails, Guy Fieri, you live. Flavortown is safe. You get to remain in control. Good luck, Thanos. Did you really even make a dent in the universe if we still got Flavortown? Next we got, let's keep with the chefs. We need our food. Chef Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay, I'm flipping for you. Tails as well. We live. We got the food. We're safe. We're sound. We're good to go. Alright, so we need our food. Well, what else would be good for us for survival? Who would we want to live and make good? Let's do Elon Musk. He makes a lot of good things. He's gonna get us off this planet. He could take us to go save Mr. Stark. Elon Musk, the real life Tony Stark, some say. Tails as well. You'll live. Everyone's having a good day. A lot of tails. All right, Sonic. All right, Bill Gates. You're next on the block. You're up to deck. Let's see how you do. Bill Gates takes a heads. That's our first down. Bill Gates down. All right. Next, let's do the man that runs the country, the most important person in America. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob, I'm flipping for you. I'm sorry, bud. That's a heads. That's a heads. You're deads. All right.
let's think about the battle for the better Spider-Man. You know, a lot of people are saying Tobey Maguire was the better Peter Parker, Andrew Garfield was the better Spider-Man, Tom Holland is a great mix of the both. Well, let's find out who really was the best Spider-Man. We know Tom Holland already bit the dust. Let's see about Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire, you also died. Okay, not so lucky. What about Andrew Garfield? Can he come out on top? Alright, they all die. I guess in no universe does Spider-Man live. I'm sorry. Man, it sure is dusty out here. I bet after Thanos snapped, Hoover prices skyrocketed. Either way, I hope I made Death happy today. I also hope I made you happy, viewers. If so, let me know by tweeting at ZTV Goofing Off using the hashtag ComicTherapy. There, you can also let me know what other comic book characters I should talk about. As always, my name's Clayton Schrock. I wonder if I'd survive the snap.
Alright, Drew, I think I finally have this whole Becca thing down.
Do you think you have all your emotions in order?
No, but I don't think normal Becca did either, so.
That's fair. Then here's the final test. What's our Goofing Off outro?
Alright, I got this. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Goofing Off. Remember to follow us on Twitter, give us a like on Facebook, a heart on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at ZTV Goofing Off for extra content. Remember, I'm Becca Tyler.
And I'm Drew Brown, and thank you for taking the time to goof off with us.
Woo!
We should be getting a temporary replacement android just in time for the next bid.
Andoyard.
Andoyard.
Wait, what? Becca's an Andoyard? Does that mean I'm an Andoyard? Okay, Becca, I think you have... Wait. Okay, Becca... Wait, let me get a little space in between. She must be talking about The Sims today on next on your
On next.
On next on
On next on Sul.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, I didn't see the part on the top.
I hate you. Get ready to shave, Long.
Everywhere.
We'll be right back after this break.
No, we won't. We're canceled.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. Do you want to gain experience in video production, professional social media, or working with real clients? Visit the UA School of Communications online or follow us on social media to learn more. ZTV, make media, make a difference.